Let me take a few minutes and talk to you just a little about fibroids. Most people have heard the word fibroids. It's referred to by maybe friends that say, yeah, my doctor said I had fibroids, or maybe you have been told you have fibroids. Let me just briefly show you a picture. The uterus is the size of a lemon, large lemon, small orange. It has an internal space that is lined by the hormonally active tissue called endometrium. The uterus, however, is largely made up of muscle, and that is the lighter pink in this diagram. The muscle portion of the uterus gets little benign muscle tumors called fibroids. 40% of women have fibroids. They are very common. Fibroids are always benign. So, because they are very common and because they are benign, the rule on fibroids is if they don't bother us, we do not bother them. There are two factors that are important with fibroids, the size and location. If the fibroids are located away from the interior part of the uterus or away from the lining, they generally will cause no problems at all. If they bulge into the uterus, that becomes more of a problem. The fibroids, however, do not bleed. They do not bleed one molecule. What they do, however, is make the lining that lays over the fibroid bleed more and more irregularly, and that is the problem with fibroids. And the other problem with fibroids is size. Fibroids can be very small, size of an English pea. They can get up to a lemon, an orange, a cantaloupe, a watermelon. I am not making a joke. They can become huge. Yes, those need to be removed. But fibroids that are more lemon and even orange, if they're not causing problems, by and large, the rule on fibroids is if they're not bothering us, we don't bother them. Endometrial ablation is a good option for women with fibroids in many cases. If the fibroid is on the outside of the uterus, it doesn't make any difference. The fibroids aren't causing a problem. They don't impact the lining of the uterus. If we get rid of the endometrium, the problems that people are thinking might be attributable to the fibroid simply go away, and nothing else needs to be done. If you have fibroids and have been told that you need a hysterectomy simply because you have fibroids, I think you may need to seek a second opinion. Also, if you've been told you have fibroids and that is the cause of your bleeding, that may or may not be true. If the fibroid is outside of the area where the endometrium is, it doesn't make any difference, and the fibroids are not a factor for you. If the fibroids are bulging into the lining of the uterus, sometimes we can make endometrial ablation work. There are other alternatives besides hysterectomy. I'm not against people having hysterectomies. I think hysterectomies are good if you need them. I personally have done thousands of hysterectomies. My philosophy on that, however, is we need to start with the easy things first, do the most minimally invasive procedures first, and then if a hysterectomy is absolutely necessary, by all means.